Semi-finals time and the quarterfinals. Predicted all four right. Look, I did go with the favourites. So I went with Xingtong to beat Wakelin. I went with Ronnie to beat Sijiahui. I went with Judge Trump to beat Brecel. But I did predict a decider in the other quarter-final. So, all in all, pretty good result for me. Obviously, I couldn't get any better than it. 4 out of 4, well happy with that. The semi-final is going to be a blockbuster. Right, let's talk about it. So Xingtong beat Chris Wakelin 13-5. It was a bit sticky at one point for for Xingtong. I think he was 5 or 6-1 up, come back to 6-4. Wakelin had a chance. 6-5 is a different game. Then he sort of kicked on the end, up winning 13-5 in the end. So that was a real big patch in the match where it could have gone wrong, but it didn't. And obviously, you've got to remember, he played 4 games in qualifiers and now 3 at the venue. That's 7 matches, all raced to minimum 10, minimum best of 19s. So, is fatigue going to come into it? Possibly in this next match. Adrenaline will definitely take over. But he had to play 4 more matches. Next one, Ronnie O'Sullivan against Sijiahui. I predicted 13-8, 13-9. And I got it right at 13-9. Oh, 13-8, 13-9. Sijiahui let him off the hook, really. Few mistakes. Well, plenty of mistakes, really. He should have won the match. If you'd have gone the other way round, Ronnie would have beat him. So I don't know. I don't know whether it's a Chinese thing and they see Ronnie as obviously Ronnie and they can't beat him. Not that they can't beat him, but they struggle to get that because Sijiahui played good in the previous match. And then obviously against Ronnie, he sort of missed a few unforgivable balls, really. Would Xingtong do that against Ronnie? We'll see. Again, absolute crucial classic. 13-12 on the black. Mark Williams dug himself out from around 50 behind, I think he was, in the decider. John Higgins had a chance, Mr. Blue. Should he have rolled it? Possibly. Did he play it how he thought was right? Yes. And all you can do when you're in front of the shot is play it how you think's right. If he felt more comfortable stunning the ball, I totally get it. Williams said after he'd have rolled it. I totally get that as well. But when no one really knows or understands, unless you put yourself in them shoes out there, what you would feel most comfortable doing on obviously match ball. So you can't really say he played it wrong or he played it right. He played it how he thought was correct, and you live and die by the sword, I say. So it started 8-all in the session. Williams come out, blistering, 12-8 up. Didn't hardly make any mistake apart from a blue ball. I think he touched with his finger or with his hand. Next thing, Higgins is 12-all and 50 in front. That just goes to show the type of character that they both are, really. Williams goes in front. You're thinking, right, that's match over. Higgins comes flying back. You're thinking, right, Higgins is now favourite, and he was probably massive favourite at one point in the decider. But when it come down to clearing the last 3 balls up, Mark Williams just did typical Mark Williams fashion. Complete balls of steel. Rolled a blue in with run inside, come off 2 cushions. Unbelievable shot, really, because it was obviously a lot thinner on the table than it does look on TV. He's got to avoid the middle pocket. If he hits it too thin, he's got to avoid the other middle pocket. And to be honest, he come round and landed a ball in hand on the pink where he's never going to make a mistake from there. So unbelievable finish to a classic again between 2 legends of the game. Just how long are they going to last for? And it's going to be a real sad day when they decide to pack it up. But all in all, I guess the decider, either way, I said the decider either way. If I was going to tip one side, John Higgins was my mum's favourite player. So I'd have probably sided slightly towards John, but I was an open book in saying a decider. And to be honest, to me, both players are unbelievable players, and I wasn't really fussed who won or didn't really have a favourite to win. Last one, Luca Brecel against Judd Trump, 13-8. I can't remember what I predicted. With Trump, I think it was around 13-9, 13-10. Look, good match. Trump went flying off, and I thought that's it. Luca come roaring back, took a 2-frame lead. Just shows you what headspace Trump's in, though. He got out the session 8-all, come out, ton, to take the new record of the most centuries in 1 year. He's on 104 at the minute, but obviously he's still in the semi-finals and potentially finals. So he's got if he wins the tournament, he's got to win another 35 frames. He's going to have at least 5 tons in that, at least. All in all, Luca played Luca style, went for his shots, didn't quite come off in the end, but Trump had an amazing last session. And to be fair, he looks like he was ready to win. So the quarterfinals went as predicted. I'm now going to try and predict the semi-finals, and I'm going to give you some a score or some scores. And yeah, it's a dream. Well, when I say dream semi-final from the top half, Xing Tong's classed as an amateur. Obviously, he's not, and anyone knows who knows anything about Q Sports know that he's not an amateur. He would be top 16 if he never had to step away from the game for 2 years. Ronnie coming off the break, obviously in his interview, he said how poor he played, and obviously he always does that. He always plays himself down anyway. I think it's like a deflection of pressure. Whereas some people come out and say, "Oh, that was amazing," Ronnie comes out and says that was really poor. And although, yes, for his standards and probably his typical self, he'd say that wasn't great unless he's having max every frame. But let's be honest, if he's getting like a 90, 91, 92 pot success over the best of 25 match, then look, that's clearly good enough to win any match, really. So although he's perfectionist himself, sometimes you've got to take what he says with a pinch of salt. This one is an extremely tricky match. I don't really know how to stand on it. I would love to see Ronnie win an eighth, just for the game, really. Xing Tong, if he wins it, what a match he would be in the final against either Williams, against like the youngest and the oldest, or against Trump, where they both play very similar game. I think Trump's a lot more tighter than him, though. I'm going to go with. It goes to 17 now, I think. He's raced 17 in the semis over 4 sessions. I'm going to go with Ronnie to win. No, I'm going to go with Xing Tong to win. I'm going to go with Xing Tong to win 17-15. 17-15, 17-14, that sort of. So I've picked the underdog there. I don't know why I'm saying it. I just feel that with the way that Ronnie's playing, and if he is feeling how he say he's feeling, I think Xing Tong will score heavy enough to wear him down. How much fights Ronnie got, we don't know yet. We're about to see it in this match, I think, because the way that Xing Tong plays and the way that he looked anyway, he doesn't look like he's going to shy away from going for his shots. We'll only see if Xing Tong actually fancies it, obviously, after the first day, really, after his first 2 sessions. So I'm going to go 17-14, 17-15. Either way, but I'm siding to the way of Xing Tong. What a match this is. Mark Williams against Judd Trump. So you got Mark Williams, who just floats balls around, as calm as they come, as relaxed as they come, against Trump, who's arguably got the biggest firepower in the game. Probably has got the biggest firepower in the game, actually. It's probably not even an argument. Yeah, unbelievable match. I just feel that this is Trump's time to win, and I just don't see. He's struggling to get beat in matches all year. One match a tournament where he's losing a decider race to 6, or a decider race to 5, or a decider race to 4. He's now got to play 4 mini matches where someone's got to consistently beat him over 2 days. I just don't see how you can. I just don't see how he's not going to have a session where he wins 6-2. And if that's the case, if he gets close in any of the other two sessions, then he's basically won. But if there's a man that can beat him, it's Mark Williams, unbelievable player, abundance of experience. There's not really many players you'd want out there clearing the colours above the spots for your life under pressure. The Mark Williams is just what a guy, really, the way he acts and the way he conducts himself around the table. I'm going to go with 17, 12 or 13 to Trump. I just think that if he has his session early doors and gets a gap and grows in confidence, I feel like he's gonna get a big enough lead where his sort of pressure's not really on him. It's going to be Mark chasing him. I'm going to go with over 6 centuries in the match. That's another thing I'm going to predict in the top match as well. I'm going to go with Xing Tong to get 3 centuries. Over 3 centuries for Xing Tong. And I'm going to go with over 6 or 7 centuries in the Williams and Trump match. So I've gone with Xing Tong to beat Ronnie, and I've gone with Trump to beat Williams. What do you predict is going to happen in this semi-finals? It's a blockbuster. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I've not really watched a great deal of the World Championships this year, but these matches I will be watching, and I feel that there's going to be some proper snooker going on. So thanks for watching the semi-finals, the prediction of the semi-finals, should I say. I'll be back for the final. Who do you think is going to get through to the final? Would you like to see Ronnie against Trump? Or would you like to see the old guard, Ronnie against Williams? I think Xing Tong is going to throw a spanner in the works. But I feel that Trump's going to get there in the end. See you next time.